Well, we're midweek and day 2 of the new Frostfire Path. We have new challenges, new rewards, new things to strive for. I mean, it is filler content. Let's not twist things up or make it out to be more than what it really is. EA DICE wanted to give us something to do and something to achieve while we wait for Season 2 to fire off. I'm sure there's quite a few folks out there who will have all the things done by end of week. I mean, it's not a race, but whatevs. You do you, boo-boo. Anyway, we also have some new complaints floating around since the new path launched, but if I'm being honest, I'm just not in the mood to deal with those at the moment. Haters are gonna hate no matter what. No, we're gonna take a break from all the self-hatred drama queens of the game for a little bit and circle back to something I promised a viewer I would finish.
Yay!
Yes, sir. I promised more deeper looks into classes, and we're hitting one today that has a slight tendency to get used in weird ways. Okay, so you're in the match. You saw the map load screen, and you're like, oh, it's Liberation Peak. So you camo up as Recon. You're making plans already as you make sure you got the kit you want. You're thinking you're going to hole up when the match starts and probably think of where you're going to go next or when the sector is taken. Okay, you got the rifle, you got the gadgets, and you're ready to throw rounds downrange. Then you get to the character load screen and notice there's 2 assault characters with you. You're probably thinking nothing of it, everyone's going to do their thing. Alright, the match starts and off you go. And you are doing the business, brothers and sisters. You're spotting left and right, you're getting headshots over and over again, you're planting bullets in people's faces. Now, I'm sure some of you check the scoreboard throughout the game. You're either checking on your progress, such as your kill-death ratio, or you're checking your position in the team. And that's when you might notice something a bit odd. You notice some of the assault players are going 30+ kills. And the objectives are still starting to collapse. Like, hang on a minute. See, in Battlefield 6, the assault class is supposed to be the frontline class. A run-and-gun point man designed to aggressively engage the opponent's storm positions and push objectives. I mean, they get assault rifles and grenade launchers as their signature weapons, faster weapon handling and mobility when using said weapons, gadgets like the deploy beacon and assault ladder that help squad movements, adrenaline injector for self-healing, arguably the weakest feature, and the only class that allows for a secondary weapon. The class is designed as a super fast-paced frontline combatant primarily for rapid, in-your-face to mid-range shenanigans. It's supposed to be used for tearing through the opponent's defenses so that we can run the objective. They're the knock-knock at your door. Solicitors, if you will, even though your objectives have a big sign outside saying,
"We've been trying to contact you regarding your car's extended warranty for quite some time now."
no soliciting. Okay, so frontline point man, check. Aggressive pusher, check. Objective focused, check. And all of this is supposed to encourage coordinated objective focus play. But that isn't always what happens. Okay, so the assault class has assault rifles. Okay, makes sense. And using assault paths in the class allows for things like faster sprint to shoot times, enhanced mobility, and some weapon versatility with that extra secondary slot. Your signature gadgets are the adrenaline injector for the instant passive health regen start. It also allows for temporary movement speed boosts, the deployable beacon for that squad spawning, assault ladder for vertical movement, incendiary round shotguns or breach projectile launchers, and grenade launchers and flashbangs. Your training paths are either breacher, by default, or frontliner. Now, both paths have rally squad, where you can temporarily adrenaline boost your nearby squad mates. And frontliner includes reduced fall damage. Assault class is objective focused. Basically, it means the class is designed for faster capture points and arms and disarms of MCOMs more quickly than the other classes. You may have noticed that in your defending in Rush when someone armed that MCOM like real quick. This is why they armed it as assault. With the weapon proficiency, the assault class's specific proficiency with assault rifles is faster draw times and firing sooner after a sprint. As far as map mobility, assault classes have the use of the assault ladder to find interesting ways to navigate around your opponents. I showed an example of this in a previous video in this clip here. This can get you into some pretty interesting places to gain the higher ground. Get your snipers up there with you, and then get your support into the fun. Ladders to higher ground, drop the respawn beacon, snipers get the lay of the land, support resupplies, instant pandemonium and chuckles. The engineers in the group can zoom around the map, laying all sorts of traps with mines and such. This would allow for the enemy engineers to come help repair their damaged vehicles, and you could spot them for your snipers upon high. I mentioned in Friday's video that you could defuse enemy mines as an engineer. But this also means you could steal them too, making them yours to redeploy. Pick up those mines, defuse them, and then redeploy them. This has two benefits. If you run out of mines and you can't get resupplied, go looking for them. Also, it's a great way to do shits and giggles with enemy deployments. However, the assault class relies heavily on their teammates. Even though the class could kick ass and take names, it often relies on support for ammo and revives. Now, don't forget you got the 3 loadouts. You start with the default one, a second loadout appears after level 8, and the third one unlocks after completing the Assault 2 assignment. So, basically the Assault class does assault things, right? Pretty simple. I mean, the adrenaline stick doesn't do much, in my opinion, and 99% of the time, when you see me use it in the footage, it's because I fucking fat-fingered the keyboard. The only other time I purposely used it was for the challenge of getting so many kills after using it. That's pretty much it. Personally, I think it's kind of wasted. I'm not saying that this is a bad thing. I'm just saying I've never gone out of my way to purposely use it, and I probably never will. I would just rather have something else there I could use that I would find more useful for me. It's less impactful on team or squad success, especially compared to engineers repairing vehicles or support resupplying and reviving. Its lack of utility seems more beneficial to the solo player than it has for the team. Besides, the Injector's 3-second animation just seems to be less effective than simply waiting for your health to regenerate. I mean, sure, without a health bag to drop a squad on, it takes a little bit of time, but for me, I would take that time to reload, check my AoE, maybe even check the map. This was just something I did naturally, pretty much without even thinking about it. I don't see the Assault class being misused nearly as bad as Support. It's really the easiest class to use because it's built with very little gaming flexibility. Assault, well, it assaults. Now, remember when I said earlier that this class is supposed to be the frontline class? It's designed to be the Leroy Jenkins of the classes. Like with ramming speed. and I have seen two types of players when using the Assault class. The first group of players are seen rushing into the fray everywhere you look, embodying the full spirit of Leroy Jenkins. They have kills scattered across the length and width of the map like rabid little hooligans. Always on the move with very little cohesion. Exchanging frantic gunfire with very little control. And zero follow-up on objectives. The epitome of chaos. I mean, you could almost hear them in the game going, as they scurry around the map. Now, there's really nothing wrong with this approach per se, however, it's the lack of follow-up on objectives that can cost the team the match. We have recon beaming players in the face, we have engineers handling armor, and if they're worth their salt, handling some aircraft at the same time. Support, as I mentioned previously, is the glue keeping things together and preventing ticket bleed and handing out freedom seeds. Assault is the hammer in the toolbox. Risk is the business of the day. If you don't breach directly, flanking and such is the other option. But these guys are more concerned about kills than anything else. Like, they turned their gameplay into some weird hybrid of a hunting and farming simulator style game. Basically aggressively farming kills and not much else. The other type of player in this class knows about pressure. They know to force the opposing team into predictable positions, drop beacons to shorten the respawn distance and control spaces. The beacons are meant to help your team spawn near objectives, not just get you back into the game sooner. And the assault pressure player pushes with their team, not alone. I mean, if your kills don't influence the objective or the opposing team's behavior, then you aren't interested in covering all the bases of winning the match. A high hill count feels good to players. A high kill count looks like impact. But kills alone rarely change the enemy's strategic positions. Real pressure is about forcing decisions, not just winning your shootout with other players. If the opposing team can spawn and advance easily, your team is constantly on the back foot. The pressure teams work on collapsing those angles, pin opponents down, force respawn disadvantages. They fight only when it moves the opponents, trade weapons fire with intent, and withdraw into cover after forcing repositions when needed. Now the hooligan team die a lot, reposition randomly, sprint into every corner they can find, often engage without support, whether that's with a support class or another teammate, leave objectives empty, which is easier for the opponents to reclaim and capture, and then they often let the opposing team reset. As Assault, you're supposed to fight with your team, not necessarily ahead of it. Look at your minimap. Are teammates grouped? If so, good. The team needs to work together. Are you isolating your opponents? If yes, you're creating chaos. If no, you're creating opportunities for them to not only just wipe the floor with you, but wipe the floor with the rest of the team and win the match. Use the tools as they were meant to be used. Place that beacon near capture points, not random potholes. I've literally seen this. Some random just dropped a beacon in the middle of the street in Cairo for God and everyone to see. A beacon isn't a personal get back from my death button. It's an anchor for the squad. If you drop it in the middle of the street, you aren't helping. You're just providing the enemy with target practice. Use ladders to change not only your field of view, but also the opponent's. It's there to use more than just to climb walls. These tools are here to change shit up. The pressure team is supposed to move before support does. Remember, support keeps the teams alive. Assault should dictate the exchange before support stabilizes it with revives and resupplies. If you're always reacting to your support players, you're not creating the pressure needed. You're just waiting for someone to bail you out. and that literally makes the support class's job harder. Assault isn't a deathmatch class, it's the tip of the spear, so to speak. It should be a pressure class with a group of hooligans, not a hooligan class thinking they're applying pressure. Your scoreboard doesn't tell you the full story, kiddos. Your impact as Assault, or any class for that matter, shows in the opponent's respawn difficulty, momentum towards the objectives, man, I cannot stress this enough, and whether the opponents have any choices left to them. Kills are easy, the pressure is hard. But that pressure wins tickets and wins matches. I did mention I wanted to cover Assault last because it was the least offender when it comes to, in my opinion, not being used properly. But I finally decided to just get it out of the way, and here we are. I've just about finished the remaining 2 classes, so those should be out soon. And if you're waiting for those, remember, YouTube has this nifty notification bell so you don't miss it. And speaking of the plugs, we're just around the corner of 3,000 subs. This little channel is growing, folks, all because of you. Now remember, we're coming up to the end of January, so only a few days left for this month's Veteran Spotlight. That information for the Spotlight is located in the video's description. Please check it out, see if it's something you're interested in supporting. I know this isn't really part of the topic of today's video, but I am interested in your thoughts about the Season 1 extension. I'm only getting a small piece of the picture, reading forums, watching other videos, and reading the comments there. Let me know what's going on in your brainhousing group about the path and the rewards. I do read all the comments even if I don't reply to them all, and I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Keep up the hood rat shit. Until the next one, out.